Hey guys, Fusebox back on Raid Shadow Legends, and look at me. I'm a broken man. Bommal Dreadhorn, look at those gems. Like 50 gems left. I've got no silver. I've got no food to eat. This is like I'm starving to death. I have no money. But the good news is anybody can beat Bommal. Anybody. Now, I came out with my first video trying to help everybody get through stage 50 basically of normal because it's such a pinch point where they needed to get over the hump. And I used some silly rare healers and, but I did use some of the good healers. Well, basically in hard mode, I had to bring out my best healers and put them all. I'll show you the kind of gear that everybody's in. And I'll talk about the healers I'm using. There are substitutes. And this is a good place for dupes, by the way. This is one of those times if you're trying to build heroes for the next rotation to get through this guy. So I did recently get Godseeker Aniri, and she's absolutely amazing. She simply increases all heals by 10% as a passive. That's just absolutely ridiculous. And on a fatal hit, she can revive somebody on death, basically give them a second wind. And then she actually has a revive on a 4-turn cooldown, which is great. She's the only reviver I have if things go south, because this is not 100% win. Things can happen. We'll talk about that in a minute. But she has a small heal on her A1, whoever's lowest HP, and then she has a big heal for everybody when she does her AoE. That's the kind of thing we need. No buffs, no debuffs. So I'm going to bring people like Vrask. A superstar here is Doom Priest. Just as in the first video, we want to clear off the HP burns. You know what? Well, we'll get to all that in a minute. We want to clear off the HP burns. We want to be able to, we were going to turn this off. We do not want to buff. But when we get stunned, she can clear that off, and she heals every time she gets a turn. That's it. Everybody's going to War Master him to death. So when it comes to, I mean, you see, she is in only immortal gear. It's not even regen gear. I do have, where's Godseeker Aniri is in regen and immortal, and most of my healers will be in that set. So I'm going to be using Vogoth. Is probably him and Inari make this a much safer team. If you've got Vogoth, he's going to do so much for your team. He basically heals everybody by the damage he takes, and it's tremendous. But he definitely needs to be in regen. He needs to be in immortal. He needs his speed didn't bother me as bad. You know what? So this is how everybody's geared, with one exception. Burgoth, the same. Some of this is rolled up to 12, right? I do not have the silver to go any further. All this can give me more defense and HP. That's how I'm going to beat level 90. You see I'm missing glyphs. I'm going to glyph these guys up, beat 90. Vrask is a little different. I still have him in, not even rolled up again. Hey, look at his speed, 145. 146 speed. I'll show you their stats in a little more general way, but the regen gear, the relentless gear is just going to make him proc. He hits, crits, and heals. That's all I need him to do. I will talk about masteries just a little bit. On him, I'm taking retribution. Well, actually, let's just get in here. I want to be able to take deterrence because we're gonna be taking stuns. That's a chance for him to go ahead and get, and so is retribution. We're gonna take big damage from the boss. Extra hits, extra heals. So instead of increasing his heals, I moved him over here. Now, not everybody did I do this to. Like Vogoth, I'm keeping him on bigger heals. He's taking damage. I need him to heal me. I need him to stay alive. But on people like the same for Doom Priest, I went ahead and put her in the exact same situation as I did my Vrask. So let's just look at the team in a more general way where you can actually see. And I have to say, my first video, this plan, as soon as I saw this boss, it's the only way I knew I could beat him. I can't get that 600, 500 plus resistance on my entire team and still have good gear on them, and at the same time be able to keep a decreased accuracy up the entire time just to not take bomb damage. And I would have to do that with some of these same heroes anyway. So this is just an easier way to do it. You can all farm regen gear and immortal gear every day. So this is just, to me, just the better way for the average player. Hopefully it helps. So what we'll do is we'll look at my team like this. If I could just get in here. So we'll go in here and we'll just go to my team setup. This will explain everything in a much quicker way. Here's my stats on Doom Priest. She's running 221. She's a part of my clan boss team when affinity is up. Defense is low. I need that to go up. She needs some glyphs. HP is kind of low. She needs that to go up too. And that's all that matters. We're not looking at any other stat. I don't need crit rate. I don't need any of this stuff. It would be beneficial, but I got to stay alive. And she's only in immortal gear, so I really need more HP. Let's be honest. I haven't stole gear off of my best heroes yet, so that might have to come down to that when I get on level 90. Vrask, now he's got 77,000 HP. His speed is ridiculous, right? That's not good, by the way. I'm not suggesting you do this, but this shows like just that threshold where you can beat this boss. Defense is stupid low, right? That's just horrible. I don't suggest it. I'd be going, if you can get over 75,000 HP and 3,000 defense on everybody, that's great. HP is a little more important than defense, but you do want both. Again, I'm going to be able to make them much stronger just by rolling things up, swapping some gear out. We'll go ahead and mention we did turn off mass possession. We don't want to do this, but I do use it as an opener to get through the waves. Vrask doesn't need to use lightning strike. He's already slow enough, right? So this gives him an extra 10%, 20% turn meter every time he gets a crit, which he does every time. Now, he's the only one that will need crit rate just to function. Vogoth, we're turning off his big provoke, but I will use it during the waves. So I got it as an opener, but after that, it's just A1 all day long. I believe he has Giant Slayer. I think he has a 3-hit on his A1. But what do we got here? 171 speed. Totally doable, right? This is hard Doom Tower level 50. And I'll go for 90, believe me, if I can get there. I'm a busy dude. But he does have a lot of HP. This guy's got to stay alive. And you notice his defense is a little better than everybody else's. Still nothing impressive. Nothing else matters again. Burgoth. If you're using Burgoth, you can bring Sinesha, you can bring dupes of some of these. There are a lot of heroes, as long as you can keep them from buffing and debuffing. Substitute who you want. The most important are Vogoth, and if you have Inari, Godseeker Inari, she's amazing. And Doom Priest. Doom Priest is going to take the stun off of you. It's going to keep you moving. Moving means you're healing. And even though I have these horrible speeds, 178 for my Burgoth, speed means more turns means more heals. So I'm not suggesting that you minimize everything like I'm doing. Hopefully you can maximize. But Burgoth takes damage and heals his allies as well, so he needs good HP. I would definitely get higher defense. Like I say, this is like that threshold where you can do this. And then you're going to want everybody to have like the HP of Vrask with the speed of Doom Priest. I don't think it's got to be 220. I really don't, because we're going to beat it just like this. So Burgoth can use both moves. Why do I let him use this AoE? Simply because it keeps him from using his A1. His A1 can land a continuous heal on him. A continuous heal on him can turn into a problem. So I don't need more bombs on him. So I let him take his A2 every chance he gets. And then we've got Godseeker. She can do everything. Everything she does, I'm going to take it. So when things do go wrong with RNG, here's the RNG. Burgoth can put a continuous heal on himself. And Doom Priest does once in a while put up these random critical hit buffs. You can't really control that. So if you get too many buffs, things can get out of hand. If you fail, but you noticed you made it through half the fight, things were looking smooth, that's likely just bad RNG. Play it again. If you fail again, play it again. I lost my first battle, just to be completely at full disclosure. I lost my first battle and I had 10% left. I thought about crying, but I didn't. I just fought it again and I won. And so, it's not a 100% team because of RNG, but honestly, none of these teams are 100% on Bommal. So he's doable. You might have to work towards these heroes, but I tell you what, I'm gonna tell you right now, on this account, I just spent all this time and resources. I have one of the heroes that can, instead of taking up Godseeker Inari, I could have taken up Burengiri. I've got him on this account. I even have him halfway in gear. Burengiri can solo this. He can do it on his own. And on my other account, I have Samar Gem Cursed who can solo it. If you guys want to see those, my builds and how I'm doing it, just let me know in the comments and I'll put a quick short video on just how those guys are able to solo it, how I did it. There are plenty of other content creators that did it. Shortly after I came up with my first video on this, Murder Inc. came out with pretty much the exact same strategy. And he has a really good video on that too. I'm not stealing his idea. This was my plan from the beginning. He's not stealing my idea, but this is a strategy that he's taken through stage 90. That's my point. He's already shown that it will go all the way, but this will help show it. So let's get to the boss real quick and get through him, and hopefully this will help a lot of people out on this boss. The words I want to say. All right. This is take 2. I got to 10% and things went wrong. The RNG I talked about, where I just had too many buffs up just by randomness. Those, you see those crit buffs up right now on a couple people from Doom Priest. That continuous heal is kind of random. You have to get a crit. So I'm going to let this play through. It looks good. The team looks good. It gets scary, but it handled itself. Hopefully we have better luck on this run. I'll just let you watch it. If I speed it up, I'll keep it manageable so you can actually see when things go wrong, how things are going right. And hopefully at the end of this, we get past this roadblock and move on to some other content. I'll be right back. Okay, I don't want to celebrate yet because this guy is disgusting, but it looks pretty solid right now. I'm thrilled. I hope this doesn't go south. I'm thrilled because the first time I came up against this guy on normal, I just knew this was gonna work. I knew it was gonna work. Since then, Murder Inc. came out with, I'm gonna be honest, pretty much this exact same support idea, and it shows a really good showcase if you want to check it out. But this feels good. One roadblock done. Now what do I need? I need more HP and a little more speed. I need a lot of glyphs, and I didn't steal my best gear, regen and or immortal, off of some of my other heroes. Iron Brago's in some really fast, strong gear. I also got, Mountain King in a little bit of immortal I could steal, but it works. It works. It's not 100%. It never will be. There's a little bit of RNG. If you're using Bergoth, keep his crit rate low so he doesn't put up continuous heals, and you can't really control Doom Priest. She's gonna give you that critical rate every now and then. But if you see yourself getting past 50% and things go south, you've already proven to yourself you can do it. You just have to wait for better RNG or try to get some more HP on your heroes so that they heal up for more. It looks like speed and HP, a mixture of defense, it does matter. I just need to kind of gear up, maybe take some of the gear off my other champions before I get to level 90, and we're going to beat this thing. So it's not impossible. That does feel good. I'm not going to lie, that feels good. So Bommal in the bag. We know how to beat all the other bosses. As long as I have time and they don't kill me at work, I hopefully will get through this Doom Tower, and hopefully you will too. If you don't have those champions, I've talked about some subs. Just remember, you just need to bring people who can either shut off their buffs and debuffs or do not have them at all. Really clean people who can bring heals to your team. Doesn't have to be those exact healers, but I promise you those are some of the best, like for sure. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. I'm super ready to move on and get to other things in Doom Tower. I'm glad it worked, and hopefully this makes it easier for you and you know the heroes you want to be looking for and building up. If this rotation's got you, no problem. Next time you'll get it. Until next time, enjoy the grind.